And it's so interesting to me that this group, right, who literally has a token that really isn't needed, is coming out and attacking Ripple so violently for XRP. Well, let me show you exactly why this group is so scared of XRP. It's things like this. Ripple, right now, in the process of getting a national trust bank charter. These are the sorts of things that Ripple has a huge advantage on in comparison to everyone else in the industry. While the rest of the cryptocurrency industry was focused on NFTs and meme coins and all these silly little things, Ripple was out acquiring licenses and acquiring real companies. So while the Chainlink token was literally sold to investors, and that Chainlink token has no actual purpose in the Chainlink network or no real critical utility, those tokens were literally just going to building out a completely different service. Meanwhile, what Ripple is doing is they are selling XRP to acquire critical infrastructure like Hidden Road, like Rail, like Memo, to build out a massive offering, a banking as a service platform where XRP is at the center of all of it. And how do we know that XRP is at the center of all of it? Well, you can look at two things. First of all, you can take a look at the messaging from the Ripple team. Brad Garlinghouse, very clearly, XRP will always be top of mind for Ripple. And if you just take a look at what they're building, right, through the documentation Ripple is releasing, the XRP ledger is at the core of everything they're doing. The XRP ledger is where Ripple's real innovation is going to come from. But they need to be able to get people to the XRP ledger, right? They need on and off ramp. Ripple is acquiring infrastructure that gets companies to the XRP ledger because the XRP ledger allows for instant liquidity. It allows for money to move seamlessly anywhere in the world in the fractions of a second. It allows for DeFi. It allows for tokenization. All of the innovation, all the important things that blockchain brings to the world has to happen on the XRP ledger. And guess what? You cannot have the XRP ledger without XRP. So unlike all these other projects, right, where there's actually not a real use of the token was an afterthought. It was spun up because people realized it could make them money, and you could run the network, you could run the project without the token. That is not the case with the XRP ledger. If there is one token out there, right, and there's multiple, right, I'm not saying there's one, but if there was one very obvious key core example of why a token is actually needed, the XRP ledger is that exact proof point. It is the exact reason, the exact rationale for why you have to have